Julius Caesar returned from Gaul as the most successful general Rome had seen in generations. His legions were hardened by years of war, bound to him by loyalty, blood, and shared survival. His victories had flooded Rome with wealth, slaves, and prestige. Statues were raised. His name was spoken across the empire. Yet in Rome itself, fear grew faster than admiration. The Republic had always claimed to hate kings. Power was meant to be divided, temporary, restrained by law and tradition. But Caesar stood outside those limits. He was no longer just a politician. He was a force. While Caesar fought in Gaul, Rome changed. Alliances crumbled. The fragile balance of power collapsed when Crassus died in the east, leaving only two giants standing, Caesar and Pompey. Once allies, now rivals. Pompey, once the Republic's greatest general, had drifted toward the Senate, aligning himself with the conservative elite who feared Caesar's popularity and his army. The Senate demanded Caesar do the unthinkable. They ordered him to disband his legions and return to Rome as a private citizen. It was presented as lawful, reasonable, necessary for the Republic's safety. Caesar knew the truth. Without his army, he would face trial, exile, or death. His enemies were not interested in justice. They wanted him broken. For months, Caesar hesitated. He wrote letters. He negotiated. He offered compromise. But the Senate did not bend. Pompey was given command of Rome's forces. Emergency powers were invoked. Caesar was declared an enemy of the state. In the winter of 49 BCE, Caesar stood on the banks of a small river in northern Italy, the Rubicon. By law, no general was permitted to cross it with an army. To do so was treason. Behind him stood veterans who had followed him across Europe. Ahead lay Rome. According to later tradition, Caesar paused, then stepped forward, uttering words that would echo through history. The die is cast. He crossed. Civil war erupted almost immediately, but it was not the chaotic struggle Rome expected. Caesar moved with terrifying speed. Town after town opened its gates. Many of Pompey's commanders surrendered without a fight. Caesar offered mercy instead of vengeance, forgiveness instead of punishment. It was strategy as much as compassion. Each spared enemy weakened Pompey and strengthened Caesar's image as Rome's protector, not its destroyer. Pompey fled Italy, shocked by how quickly support collapsed. Caesar entered Rome without bloodshed. The city was his, but the war was far from over. Rather than pursue Pompey immediately, Caesar secured the West, crushing resistance in Spain with decisive efficiency. Only then did he turn east, following Pompey across the sea. The two armies finally met in Greece, on the plains of Phasaelis. Pompey had superior numbers, stronger cavalry, and the backing of much of the Senate. Confident, he waited for Caesar to attack. Caesar adapted. He anticipated Pompey's cavalry charge and countered it with hidden infantry. When the moment came, Pompey's line collapsed. The battle was brutal, decisive, and final. Pompey fled once more, seeking refuge in Egypt. He never made it. Believing they could gain Caesar's favor, Egyptian officials murdered Pompey upon his arrival. When they presented his severed head to Caesar, they expected gratitude. Instead, Caesar wept. Pompey had been his rival, but also his ally, his equal, and a Roman. His death marked the true end of the old republic. Caesar remained in Egypt longer than expected. There, he became entangled in a dynastic struggle and allied himself with Cleopatra, a young queen fighting for her throne. Together, they secured her rule. Their relationship would become legend, political, personal, and deeply controversial in Rome. From Egypt, Caesar moved like a storm. He crushed resistance in Asia Minor with astonishing speed, declaring simply that he had come, seen, and conquered. Each victory reinforced the sense that no force could stop him. By the time Caesar returned to Rome, the war was effectively over. He was named dictator not once, but repeatedly. Eventually, dictator for life. Unlike the tyrants Rome feared, Caesar did not rule through terror. He reformed debts, expanded citizenship, restructured the calendar, rebuilt cities, and planned massive public works. He envisioned a Rome that was stable, orderly, and imperial. But power changed how people saw him. Statues rose in his likeness. Honors accumulated. His image appeared on coins. Some began to whisper a word Rome had not spoken aloud for centuries king. The men who feared Caesar believed they were acting to save their republic. They convinced themselves that murder was patriotism. On the Ides of March, Caesar entered the Senate chamber unarmed, unsuspecting. He never left. The assassination did not restore the republic. It destroyed it. Rome plunged into chaos. Civil war returned, fiercer than before. In the end, power passed to Caesar's heir, Augustus, who ruled as emperor in all but name. The republic was gone. Julius Caesar did not live to wear a crown, but his actions made empire inevitable. He proved that one man, with loyalty, ambition, and force, could break centuries of tradition. He crossed a river and history followed. If you found this journey through history meaningful, consider supporting the channel by liking and subscribing to this video. It helps these stories reach others who value the past and the lessons it carries.